welcome back to the Raleigh Kids How-To video series with myself, your host, Grant Fielder. In the previous episode, we were focusing on cornering, but as you'll notice, not every trail just features corners. Sometimes you're going to stumble across parts of the trail where you will not need to pedal. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on pumping. Pumping is a technique where you require no pedaling at all, where your feet are nice and flat and you're using the back sides of lumps and bumps to generate speed through your body weight. In episode 3, we looked at pedal positioning and balancing. Pedal position is going to play a very big part in this episode because having your feet in the correct position will make it easier. Step 1. You will need to understand whereabouts you will need to pump. This is usually on small mounds and small bumps. The next step is preparation, and preparation is by making sure that your pedals are level. The reason why we need to have our pedals level is so we have as much clearance over that mound as possible. Another very important approach technique is making sure that you are in a gorilla stance. And the reason why you need to be in this gorilla stance is so then you could shock absorb that mound into your body. So elbows out and knees slightly bent. So one of the most important things about pumping is understanding the mound itself. So we want to be approaching that mound at a moderate speed, a nice comfortable speed, whilst in the gorilla stance. So now you are comfortable with going over that mound without pedaling, we are now ready to start pumping. So now we are ready to approach this mound and get ready to start pumping. When we approach this mound, we should be in the gorilla stance. We want our elbows nice and wide. We should generate as much speed as we can to get over that mound, but the most important thing is not pedaling. As we approach the first mound, your bike is going to start rising at the front. At this point, your elbows will have to start bending and making sure that the front of the bike starts coming in towards you. Your head should stay at the same position the whole time. You should not be going up with the bike. You should be letting the bike come into your body. As your front wheel gets to the top of the mound, your elbows should be nice and bent. When your front wheel starts to roll over the top, your back wheel will now start to rise to the top of that mound. At this point, you will want to bend your knees, having your bike come all the way into your body. So at this point, your back wheel will be at the top of the mound. Your elbows will still be bent, your head will be looking forwards, and you want to be making sure that you are in a completely compressed spring-like position. The moment your back wheel starts to leave that mound, we want to be forcing our pedals into the ground, nice flat pedals, so we can try and generate as much speed coming out of it. The most important part of this process is always looking forward because we never know what's going to happen next. We may even need to repeat the process one time after another, or turn, or whatever. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. One of the most important things I'd like you to take away from this is making sure that you are in the gorilla stance with nice flat pedals, because in the next episode, we're going to be needing those techniques because we're going to be riding rough terrain.